Let's continue to talk about more about the phrase legally binding. Legally 其实是 legal 这个形容词加了 ly 出现的。法律上的什么呢 ？Binding 这个字注意哦 ，bind bind 是约束，那 legally binding 就是具有法律约束力的。
So this is strange. Portia's saying, "Yep, he's right. This is legally binding."
She agrees with him.
So she agrees. She's like, "Yeah, you have to take your pound of flesh because that's what it says in the agreement. It's legally binding, so it must be done." Why would she do that to Antonio? I don't get it. She's saying, "Yeah, you're going to lose a pound of flesh today. You're going to die." Okay, well, let's find out what she's up to here. She must have some kind of plan. And in fact, it says she tells Shylock, he must be careful though. Okay, so you can't be too careless. You gotta be careful.
You must be careful.
You gotta be careful. He must cut off exactly 1 pound of flesh without spilling even 1 drop of Antonio's blood. Okay.
That's the plan.
Portia is very, very smart. You have to cut off exactly
smart, clever woman.
1 pound of flesh. You can't spill 1 drop of blood. If you spill something, it means something falls out of a container, like you're holding it in. Like, for example, if you have some water in a cup and it tips, you might spill some water out onto the floor. So, he can take the flesh, but he can't spill 1 drop of blood. No blood can fall down on the floor. So, that would be really difficult.
Yes, that sounds a little weird. She agrees that Shylock can cut off Antonio's flesh, and now we know that her plan is to kind of threat.
Yeah, she's kind of trick Shylock.
Yeah, to threaten Shylock. She says, you have to cut exactly 1 pound of flesh. Then Shylock is in trouble because he can't just cut exactly 1 pound of flesh.
Yeah, you have to measure it.
Right. Besides that, he can't make Antonio spill any drop of his blood. That's hard.
That's very difficult to do, especially, as I said, they didn't have the advanced, surgery. He'd just have to take a knife and cut, and there's going to be blood everywhere.
Yeah,
all over the place. It's going to spill all over the floor, the walls. It's going to be gross, really.
Yeah.
So, seems kind of impossible. And if he fails, so if he cannot do this, all of Shylock's lands and goods will be taken away. So yeah, he can try, but if he fails, if he doesn't take exactly 1 pound of flesh, and if 1 drop of blood hits the floor or anywhere else, Shylock loses everything he has.
Smart move. The article here then says, Shylock quickly changes his mind and decides that he'll accept the large payment instead. But Portia now says, nope. Now things are different. Shylock is in big trouble.
Yeah, he tries to say, okay. I don't want the pound of flesh. I'll take the cash. I'll take the money. But he can't go back. He's already said he wants the flesh. Portia, she's very, very clever, very smart. She reminds him that it was he himself who insisted on following the original agreement. So she reminds him, if you remind somebody about something, you tell them about something that they might have forgotten about. So she's saying, okay, well, let's go back to the contract. I remind you, I tell you again that you insisted on following the original agreement. If you insist on something, you are saying something must be done. For example, if you go out for dinner with your friend and you eat and then you say, I insist that I pay, it means you will not accept that they pay for the dinner or for the meal. He was insisting that they follow the original or the first agreement. So she's saying, no. You can't go back on this now.
Yeah, I agreed with you, so let's just do it.
We're going to follow the contract that we started with.
Yeah, so remind 是提醒的意思啊。这边 Portia 是提醒这个Shylock 他原本的协议 to remind somebody that 后面可以加一个句子。提醒某人某事，那如果你这边只想加一个名词的话 to remind somebody of something. For example, this photo reminds me of my grandpa. 接下来我们看到 insist 这个字是坚持的意思 insist on something 坚持某事。再来最后一个字我们看到的是 original means the first 最初的起初的。
In addition, as the deal would have killed Antonio, Portia states that Shylock tried to break the law. So she's saying, well, on top of all that, your agreement was basically murder. You were saying, like, I'm going to kill this person. So that's, of course, that's against the law. You can't just go around making deals to kill somebody. That's illegal. That's against the law.
So in addition, here it means additionally, 除此之外，我们还可以用其他的字来代替，比如说 besides, what's more, moreover, or furthermore. 那这边呢，我们看到 to break the law 是违反法律的意思。注意哦，我们动词用的是 break。那如果是遵守法律呢 ，we say to follow the law.
That's right. That means you obey the laws.
You obey.
So thus, all of his money will be taken away. So she's saying, well, because this agreement was breaking the law or is against the law, he's going to lose everything anyway. All his money is going to be gone. So bad deal for Shylock. He wanted revenge. He's not going to get revenge, and he's going to lose everything.
Yeah, he's in a trap now.
He's trapped.
Later, the article says Antonio's life is saved, and he and Bassanio thank the lawyer. The lawyer is actually Bassanio's wife, Portia. Well, they know it.
I guess they don't know it. They still don't recognize her. She's in disguise. Remember.
She disguised as a lawyer.
So she looks like a man, actually. So they don't recognize her, or they don't know it's Portia. Portia surprises her husband when she reveals it had been her all along. So she takes off her disguise and says, "Surprise, dear, it's me."
Yeah.
It's been me all along. All along here means for the entire time.
All the time, right?
All the time. She's been there. She's been the lawyer. She's the one who basically saved the day. Now, what's more, Antonio's ships later arrive in port, making him rich once again. So we do have a happy ending. The ships come back into port. The port is the place where ships will stop, where they will dock next to the land. They will unload all of the stuff that they have on them so they can be moved across the country. So his ships had disappeared. They were lost at sea, but I guess maybe there was a storm or something and that they just were out of contact, but then they came in. They were just a little bit late. That's all. So everybody's happy. Everybody's got money, except for Shylock. Shylock had a really bad day.
Yeah, Antonio's ship finally came back to the port, 回到港口了. So now, I think we're running out of time, but before you leave us, let's go to our For You chat.